Let us continue our romp into the unknown. The F-Zero abyss of infinite track making. Everything is possible. Everything is permitted. Fear not the track, for the track fears you. And now you get to see the records, which are of no use. It's no use! The Big Fucker 2001. That's what this is. I wonder if they thought that F-Zero would take place in 2001, because that's so wrong. Getting in the big ocean planet. We all like the big blues around here. Blues is as bigs. All the big blueses. Maybe we should just try to play the game of try to make something out of, you know how you look at clouds in the sky and try to imagine images? Let's try to do that with these tracks. I'm gonna imagine this one looks like a say a gecko, chameleon. Some might say a bird. Maybe like a really tall one like a flamingo. Or maybe some like two-legged guy with no arms and like a rockin' dude. One of those. What else? Maybe it's Earthworm Jim, but we took his hands off. Not really safe to find that shit out. Not saying I'm a crazy man, but you have the craziest plans that I've ever heard. Out of this world, stuff that you wanna put together. Putting the falcons up your balcons. This is what we just want to do. If all these Captain Falcons make you want to spew, and if you do not want to spew away. Oh, speaking of, while I was trying to do the screen copying stuff. What do you mean, speaking of? I mean, as an off-aside, nothing to do with this line of conversation. While I was trying to do the screen copying thing, interesting thing happened that it seems when I applied the USB Connect, or whatever, it was specific to just, let me just hook up the phone with the USB like I usually do, and all the USB ports simultaneously turned off, and I had to restart my computer. So, I do not want to actually use the Screen Copier program again for that reason. That, well, I could use it. I don't know if I need to now. Like, I guess it's more convenient for me because I'm sick of looking at tiny screens for just doing things on the phone when I'm at home and I have no need for small screens. But enough about that. It's just the only thing that's come up since today. Nothing else happened other than just, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to see if it's possible managing everything in a house. It's like, you know, I got all these things to look after now. Despite all things, it's like, oh yeah, just plop me in. Yeah, I'll figure out your yard situation. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just go into reverse and fuck this whole trip. Just turn back around. Go where you went. Deathwind is terrible. I should remind you that. Deathwind's always terrible. No exceptions. Okay, there is an exception, but it's the only time when Deathwind doesn't have wind. Then it's okay. But no, the wind makes it terrible. You just get used to the nonsense over time, but hey, a lot to put up with. Anyway, the thing is that, you know, I'm outside. Well, nominally outside. I can be outside if there's something I need to do right. But it's hot, and bugs think I'm delicious. So that's two reasons. You know, especially this year, it being super hot. But no, it's mostly insects. You know, then the other times of the year, it's just too cold, isn't it? Yeah, so a lot of shit that is. But it's just, you know, a while back, we just hired this guy to do the lawn for us. But it wasn't me who hired him. The person who hired him has long passed. And so now I feel like I'm stuck with this guy, and I don't want to turn him down, because then I have to go looking. And, yeah, I don't know the deal. Like, at first it was just, yeah, okay, whatever. Until it's just like, well, what about other things you might want in the house? Like considering, I'm not going to go into his personal history. I have no business with doing that. But he just sounds like a salesman guy, and I don't really want to deal with that kind of personality. Especially when it's like insistent. It's like, no, dude, we can't pay more for any other things you might need to be done. Like, I get it. We have certain wildlife that likes to dig holes. Okay. I don't know if I make it my life's mission to maintain everything possible just to look nice. And it's like, well, trees growing into your foundation of the house. I'm like, really? You want me to chop it down? That never even entered my thought process since less than 5 months ago. You know? When spring finally came around. Assuming there was one. I don't know, man. I don't control the weather. But yeah, it's just like... It's just another thing to add on to it. And I don't know how I'm going to, like, okay, I know how to cut a tree down. That's not it. You'd have to, like, de-stump the damn thing. And I'm not even sure what to do for that yet. But yeah, needless to say, and that's in between maintaining, like, I don't know, maintenance is just a hell on earth for me. But it's like the only thing no one really cares that I do, because, you know, you don't have to, like, go to a course just to look after your own house. Like, there's, oh yeah, they'll have home economics as a class, but you don't actually need to take it to allow yourself to do it, do you? It's just living life, right? Or doing chores. Or something to that effect. But no, it's just... I realize I do not like doing it. It's not as if I have... I mean, yes, but... You know, we have, like, a lot of animals. So I have to think about that. And just have to give up on certain things. Like, oh, there's just going to be holes in the furniture for the rest of my life now. Because I don't have any business of telling me, like, okay, cat, try using the scratch post. That we have! You know, it's been there, waiting to be used for, like, centuries. But no. Scratch on the door, scratch on the corners. It looks like termites have been through the wood, but we don't get termites, thankfully. But that's how far they've scratched it. We're just like, should I just rebuild that entire house from there? It's like, I can paint over it, but I don't want to deal with that. Like, this house is just going to go in disrepair. And I don't want to be reminded of that, and I don't want to bring up all the several reasons in how I got in this situation. I don't feel like explaining to some random stranger who just asked to do a simple thing. It's like, okay, you know. I thought the point of living in the middle of buttfuck nowhere meant I wouldn't have to deal with this kind of stuff, but I guess I do. Would it have been better to live in the city? No, not necessarily. Especially now, due to, like, sanitary concerns. So yeah, oddly enough, I live out in the middle of nowhere just because I need to live in the bubble for my own sake. It's not even a case of me not liking people. It's just other people don't know what they're doing. They'll just accidentally make people sick without realizing it. Or if they do realize it, they don't care, and that just arguably makes it worse. So it's like my only connection on this earth, this godforsaken earth. And I could say I could turn him down, but I need someone to do it. And yeah. Things are adding up, and then I'm forgetting to do it, and he's going to come by around again when I should have tried to address it a week ago, and I don't know if I have to explain to you how my brain works, where I'm not thinking about every little goddamn thing that someone wants to bring to my attention as the most important thing. Okay, I don't know how to explain to you how angry that makes me. You know, all these little goddamn things. Yeah, let me clean the window. Cool. It's just gonna get dirty again next week. You know? And it'd be nice if it actually contributed to, like, my cardio, which, you know, moving around boxes sure does. But we can't even get the advantage out of that. Like, maybe for a little bit, if you had that many things to move around, but eventually you're going to run out of things to move around, or you're just going to move things around for the sake of moving them around, and then you're just doing exercises anyway, and it's not really a chore. Is it? What is this track doing to me? It is doing awful and horrible things. Just like my life. My life is bad. My life is good. It's working against me. So now I just have to take a little guess as to what I'm going to do. all of those things that Captain Falcon lets him say. Do 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 do. I feel like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place because, you know, I don't even know how much it is my fault, but I think I'm stuck between a lot of people who have very different ideas of how the world works constantly, every day. And I can't take it anymore. Like, I want to stick somewhere. I don't know if that someone wants to stick with me. It's not like I'm trying to be on the fence. I was just forced there, you know? And no, I can't say it's necessarily my choice to be on the fence. I didn't even know I was on a fence. I was not even aware there was a fence to sit on. The fence is so damn thin already. And no, it's not like, oh yeah, he's a centrist. No, it's not even that either. It's not in the terms of how I place myself. It's the terms of I have to deal with multiple sets of thoughts when I shouldn't need to, because I'm sick of trying to categorize everyone without actually know what they're thinking half the time, because that's not how I work. I worry about what they think all the damn time, but that doesn't mean I know what they're thinking. That's kind of the problem. And so I have to, like, you know, run through my mind. It's like, oh yeah, let me just run through you the checker. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, you're good. Oh, by the way, this guy is evil, but how would you just sort people on morality without ever having met them or knowing them for a long period of time? I don't see myself doing that, but it's constantly what I feel like I'm trapping myself into. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. And anyone I talk to about it, which I literally can't. I mean, I try to, or I think I can, but I feel like they'll take some issue with me that I can't quite explain. Or, you know, the worst thing is that people who think are friendly, and then they're like, no, you're the person I hate the most. And I'm like, where did this come from? Or people who you want to be friendly with, people who want to be friendly with you, this is really the opposite. This is just a different thing. Where it's just like, well, you've been categorized as evil now, and you're like, very confused how that could have happened. You know, that's the horror of being perfectionist. It's not just, well, yes, the horror of the perfectionist is that you can make moral mistakes and not be forgiven. What is an example of a moral mistake? Social faux pas. Let's go with that. Because I'm talking about the really tiny things that people think are just the beginning, or that they need to work on first. The micro things. I'm just like, half of the shit I didn't even know was something I was even doing, or was aware of, or just whatever I thought about. It's like, I don't want to have to manage people just to continue playing video games, you know? Managing people would not make me better at video games. No. It might be better at making teams. That's not going to make me better at the games themselves. No, I have to, like, train myself, you know? Train myself constantly. And it's all getting in the way. I'm just going to have to ask someone else to talk to him, because I can't take this guy anymore. He just literally give me heart attacks. Not literally heart attacks, but it is, like, causing some stress. It's just, you know, my front door works, okay? I have a doorbell. Do not knock on the window. It's a very simple thing. It's not like, it's not in the end of the world if you do knock on the window, but, you know, I have a very good reason you do not knock on the window. Especially during the day. Because I'm in the bedroom with my wife, and she's sleeping. So do not knock on the window. It's not that hard. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Don't you accidentally wake her up by talking all the time? No. Except if I'm swearing at the video game I'm losing. Then I know it's my fault. But, you know, the point isn't necessarily about me in that situation. It's like, oh yeah, let me just go off and do nothing while the guy's here so he doesn't knock on the window. Cool. Or make up excuses to make it seem like I'm doing something important, except now I'm just in, like, danger mode. It's like, he's going to come in at any time, and when I just want to be like, I don't want to have to explain this whole thing and start the conversation, but I just want the business to be done with. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I have to turn down this guy, but I didn't start the deal with him. and they're expecting me to deal with it, and it's pissing me off because I didn't agree to this person particularly. It's just he happens to be doing it okay at whatever he's doing. I don't need his constant criticism that coming out of fucking left field, okay? That's what it is. If I want to take criticism, I'll go read stuff online. I can't do it in person that well. You know? In real time, I mean. Yeah, it also applies to phone calls. If you text me, oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take the criticism right there and then, but, you know, if I don't have time to process it and you need an answer within like 5 seconds of talking to me, I can't help you. Because I don't know what you want yet. I'm trying to figure it out first. I have to artificially supplement how my socializing works, by the way. So it might seem like, you know, I'm acting relatively well. And yeah, yes I am. I like to think I am. But I don't really know, now do I? Since I'm not the master of talking to people, nor do I actually want to be, since I feel that's that's always going to feel like some level of manipulation I don't want to get involved in. And without doing it, you know, people think that gives them the right to do it back. And I'm like, no. There's a better way to handle just actual basic fucking conversation than that. And turns out just me waiting for the conversation to end when I don't want to talk anymore. I don't know if this is therapeutic to you or not, or how you're going through it, but yeah. This is the Game Wolf rant section now. What do I do? I think I'm stuck with this guy. Until he just fucks off during winter. Unless he's going to be like, yeah, I'll offer to do snow blowing. Because that's probably what's going to happen next. And I'm like, you know, if it weren't for the lawnmower breaking down, if it weren't for my insistence that I do not stay outside because doctors tell me your skin's going to burn based on how hot it is outside. I'm like, yes, I know. That's why I'm not going out. You know, besides the bugs, because I could have some strategy for them. But no, it makes no difference if your skin's peeling off and you can't even really say it's because of vitamin D. No, it will burn. People don't believe me. No, my skin burns very easily. It's like, oh, you're just going to build up a resistance. No, you fucking don't. You do not build up a resistance to fucking cancer just by going right into it. No, you don't. You really don't. I had a hard time convincing people who knew fucking better, who've lived with me for most of their lives, and they're just like, no, just hang out here. You know, I have a permanent red spot on my face when I'm just like, I didn't care about where I was going. It was like, can I just stay in the car? He's like, no, because he's going to the destruction derby. And so, yeah, I'm stuck out there. It's like, I told him I was going to sunburn, and I got a sunburn. And he's like, you're just being a baby. I'm like, I still have a sunburn, idiot. Doesn't matter if I'm complaining about it. The sunburn exists. Like, believe this. Fucking guy. So I can't just force myself to be outside just because it's supposed to be something I do. I can't even invoke like, okay, let's say there's something I can do about it. Alright, sunscreen. Sure. How long is that going to last? Because I'm probably going to need several hours to take care of this damn thing. You know? It doesn't work that well. The spray doesn't work that well either. The bug spray definitely doesn't work that well. And you can't yeah, that's it too. Like, combining bug spray with sun spray. Ooh, good luck. Unless I'm going to use, like, the DEET stuff, which isn't, like... Yeah, bug sprays that work but are not, like, a friend of nature to you and me. You know, if you're going to be working in, like, say, your garden, and you want to spray bugs, the garden's not going to like that. So you use the natural stuff. That doesn't really work. There isn't really a way around that I know about without having to do a lot more research into it first when these problems need addressed, like, last year. I don't know, man. I didn't anticipate a tree growing in a place where it shouldn't in the span of just, like, 1 year because we've had so much rain this year. You know? I wasn't intending to just manage the equivalent of what a sim town would be like for just one house. I did not anticipate that. But now I get why people hire people with you stuff, it is not because they're lazy. They just don't have the time. Or in my case, you see what I'm good at? You know what I'm good at? Computers. You know what I don't need to spend doing stuff that doesn't actually help me with computers. Cutting trees does not help me with computers. Doing dishes does not help me with computers. I'll do them anyway, but they don't actually help with computers. You know what I need? A water softener that works. Like, I have to think about all that. But we don't have the cash to deal with that. But we have to deal with it now, you know? It's like, no. I'm tired of people giving me ass about it. Leave my decaying house alone. Alright? I live in it. I'll be fine with it. You'd be surprised what I can tolerate. Just not you, judging me in my house. Leave me in my house alone. It's like, how'd you end up in a house? Luck. Actually, no. Not technically. It was definitely probability, though. Luck kind of puts like a mystic spin on it, but it's certainly probability. It's not an impossibility, is what I'm trying to tell you. Whew. I'm gonna have to take a break before I do the next video so I can come up with something else to talk about for like half an hour. That last one's gonna be pretty long. Are you saying you've talked about this forever? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my videos are a time capsule. Yeah. Yeah, there's like a bunch of videos where I've talked about stuff and ranted about it, including video games and some aspects of my personal life that I imagine most people aren't even coming in for anyway. In fact, they've probably just muted me off and just watched the game. And yeah. Also, I don't know if that means I'm invoking your parasocial ability, but you know, you might get used to my life. You might be like, oh yeah, he's a cool guy, but don't, it doesn't necessarily assume we're friends. Like, you can use that as a start to be like, oh, I follow you. Let's try being friends. Yeah, don't just... Yeah, be an opener being a friend. It wouldn't include you in friendship, because you're not even there yet, whoever you are. You're still in, like, the... You know, there's a friend zone, but there's also, like, the chamber behind that, the acquaintance space, the no man's land. The place where everyone's there by default before I even know who they are. So if you like me and you're just saying I have to follow me without ever actually talking to me before, you're not my friend yet. I feel like it's very easy to do it that way. So don't get the wrong idea. Don't get the wrong idea. I like you, whoever you are, but I have no idea who you are, so I can only just like you on general principle because you are a human. And humans like me. However, if you're a robot and you're watching me, I don't even know what conversation we're having in the first place. Beep boop bop boop 0111 0111 0011. That's not even anything. Who knows what words I just made up just then.